Thank you, Mood Body Studio, for tonight's live stream. You really showed me how much I kind of missed a lot of my art therapy stuff. It just reminded me about what it means to heal and how to use art to heal. And sometimes you can create things just to create, not that they're perfect, not to make things perfect. I struggle with that, you guys. I struggle with trying to make everything perfect. If it's not perfect, sometimes I say, why bother? Why bother? Why bother if it's not perfect? Why bother if it's not doing anything effective? There is a reason to bother with it. Just do a little bit each day, you know? My name is Jen. This is Ask Your Friend Jen. We're going to be doing some art today, okay? Thanks to Mood Body Studio. Found her on Instagram. She's also on TikTok. Followed her as well. Be sure to give her some kudos, you know? Let her know that you saw my live. Let her know that you saw what we did tonight. Let her know if anything that I did or she did is helpful. People want to know that what they're doing is helpful. I want to know that what I'm doing is helpful. I'm sure that you do as well. This whole world spends so much time complaining, pointing out the flaws, really ravaging the flaws. And I don't think people talk enough about what they like, what they appreciate, even if they don't know why they like it. If they know why they like it, even better, tell them why you like it. But let us know if what we're doing is helpful. All right, so tonight we're going to be doing some really cool art. This is what I did a little earlier. Hey, thank you, Mood Body Studio. We're going to be doing something similar to this today in our little TV show here. Little TT show. And it's really simple. You only need 3 ingredients to make this, okay? And you can do it with a lot of different mediums. You can do it in a lot of different sizes with different amount of time. But today we're gonna see how long this goes. So I've got a regular pen here. I'm actually a little bit particular about my pens. This is a ballpoint. I love a good ballpoint, a heavy one, a thick one, you know, especially one with a grip. This is my favorite medium to do art. A blue, black, or red ballpoint pen. The red ones are even more particular than the black and the blue, but you gotta make sure you get a nice slide in. So after that, after a good pen, we're gonna get some marker and watercolor pad and some markers. I just got these today, you guys. They are what is going to help create this really neat art piece. Thank you, Mood Body Studio. All right, here we go. Let's start it up. So you're going to get to your first page. See? Fresh. Fresh, fresh. Today is the 20th. I'm going to go ahead and sign this real quick. Because, you know, people often, especially myself, people often forget to sign and date. Jen, 11/20/2025. There you go. So on your paper, on the top left, top right corner, just give it a little signature. It doesn't have to be anything big, whatever you want. However you sign your name and give it a date. Today is 11/20/25. I'll give you a little bit of time real quick to set yourself up. All right. Guys, if you are listening to this music right now, at JJH Live, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, he's all over the place. He's really good, really passionate about bringing piano to people and showing them that heart and soul can really go into it. So if you like this music, go check him out. All right. So you got your signature, you got your date. Now the next thing to start. Now just listen to the music here, and here's what I'm gonna have you do. Remember our sheet here. I started on the back. I was testing out some which lines I was gonna want to use, but you know, I didn't think this was gonna work out the best. It's a little too rough and for what I was going for, but it does have some movement. So that's what we're going for here, okay? So you take your pen. Mine's clicked off right now. You can see that. Take your pen and listen to the music and draw some lines. Okay? Personally, so I did this first. This was my test, right? And this is what I came up with, okay? Now, I really like this structure, but I'm going to tell you, I think doing some smaller sections makes it a little bit more fun to color for myself. And so I'm going to do kind of a lot of lines, but you can do it however you need or want. This is just a quick one. This was really quick. You know, if you look here at the section, there's big sections. Okay, big sections. Now, that can be effective, especially if you want to try some patterns and some designs within each box. All right? But for me, I'm going to do solid colors tonight. And I'm going to want a lot of boxes, okay? So let's go ahead and listen to the music. Click your pen ready. Get your pen ready. Make sure it writes. All right? Here we go. You're just gonna scribble. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember that, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be neat. Who said it has to be neat? All right, that one got a little wild. That's all right. The whole point of this exercise tonight is to create something that's not perfect. Okay? It's the opposite of what I'm struggling with right now. What I'm struggling with is to be perfect. So the way to combat that, equal and opposite reaction, right? Which Newton's law is that? Put it in the chat. Let me know. But the whole point of this is to not have it be perfect. Okay? I'm going to show you how to clean up some of these lines too, which she does a really great job. Mood Body Studio does a really great job at emphasizing these lines and getting them bigger and bolder. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I did not do it on this one, but I'll show you at the end. I'm going to give you a little bit more time to finish your drawing here. If you don't like what you did, I understand. Flip it over. You saw what I did. I gave it a practice shot and I didn't like how it turned out. That's okay. Flip it over. Go again. Try again. I'm going to give you a little bit of time here while you're listening to the music to draw your pattern. This is my pattern. We're going to stick with this one tonight, okay? But I'm going to give you a minute to draw your pattern. Remember, we're not going for perfect. If you're sitting here waiting, go ahead and start looking into your form of coloring. Today I'm choosing the Crayola markers. This is not sponsored. This is not an ad. These are the ones that I just picked. I like that it's preferred by teachers. And they're washable. Non-toxic. Okay. I got the bright and bold and bright colors version today. I have some really fun colors. We're not going to be using the laser lemon. I don't know if you saw that. The laser lemon was kind of eating some of my ink. So we're not going to be using her today. That's all right. All right, so if you've got your lines drawn, go ahead and get your colors out. We're going to start coloring it up. All right. So, as you're listening to the music, pick one color, okay? Now, you can go about this any different way. I've done this in a lot of ways, and maybe I'll show you. Maybe I'll make a post about some of these that I've done. I like to do them on my iPad as well. It can be really fun to do. But you're gonna take your color choice, okay? And then you're just gonna start filling in each space, all right? However you want. Listen to the music, relax. See, this is why I like having smaller spaces. These big spaces were fun, but they were a little too big for me. And so I'm gonna start doing some small spaces. And I like to just outline the edge and then bring it all the way in. And if I miss or I make a mistake, it's okay, because this art technique is not about perfection, because not everything has to be perfect, right? So I'm just going to find some spaces and color them in. I was doing this earlier today and it was really fun because I started thinking about some of the fall experiences that I remember growing up that were fun. And I just remember that I was so big into experiences. I didn't really mind too much stuff, but experiences, I would always request that. My birthday is coming up, and so fall weather, fall time, always makes me think of my birthday. And one year, I got to have a birthday party at bowling alley. And it was just really fun. There you go. See? We're starting to come along here. Now you just kind of go around. You go around and you kind of pick some spaces. I don't like when colors are too close, I wouldn't, make a big space, but you can. You know, that's the fun part about this technique, is that you can really make it however you want, and then do it again, and do it again, and try something different, and do it again and again and again. And it's all just for fun. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if you come outside the lines. Because in the end, this is what it'll look like. Excuse me. A wonderful piece of art that you made, that you got to concentrate on and you get to feel good about. Alright, I'm going to change colors here. We got our base colors started. So I'm going to choose the next one. Primrose. Excuse me. We went camping one year around Thanksgiving. That was the most fun. It was so much fun. I love these little tiny ones. Little tiny spaces. One of the surprises that we had today was my car wouldn't start, which is super unusual. But it's happened before. And turns out that make, model, and year, it is a known issue. It's a recall. It's been a recalled issue, which is super frustrating. But it was able to work and do the things I needed it to do today after a while. So that was really nice. See, we got out of the line there, but that's okay. Because what's going to happen here after I finish, I can just whoop, slice the lines and dot the spots. And then it's fine again. You guys, I'd love to see your artwork. Let me know. Let me know when it's done. You can tag me. Ask your friend Jen. Post it up, tag me, let me see it. I'll be sure to tag Mood Body Studio as well. Let her know what you've been doing with her technique. Now, I know it's not her technique. That's the thing. This is not just something she came up with. There's an actual name for it. And you know what? I'd love to see if you guys can figure it out. okay if we are not in the same line and if we make a mistake, because we can fix it at the end of whatever we're doing. See? Alright, let's see here. Really think I'm ready to do a big one. This one is called Tropical Violet. Tropical Violet seems like she really wants to do some big ones. Up and over. And a little swoosh. If you like this video, I've got a bunch more cool stuff on a bunch more different socials. Just look for me, especially on the big main 8, 9, I think. I'm on 9 different social medias or connection points. I'm doing stuff like this all the time. And stuff like this is always free. Hi, Felicia. So happy to see you, my friend. We're doing some art today. It's going to turn out something similar to this. And we got the inspiration from Mood Body Studio, found on Insta and TT. Oh, thank you so much, sweet girl. How are you doing? How is everything? I hope I finished this in time to check out your live. I came on just for a moment last night, but I was not able to stick around. So I hope that I can catch you again. Felicia puts on some wonderful lives, wonderful streams, wonderful shows throughout the week on TT. So those of you who have TT, check her out. She's my top BFF. She got some really cool giveaways coming up. All right, we're moving on to infrared. Look at that. This is gonna be really, really nice there. I love doing art like this because it allows, like, do you ever hear about how dolphins sleep with like half their brain off? Perhaps it's horses too. Art like this allows me to just turn half my brain off and rest. Ooh! Oh my goodness, thank you so much! Excuse me. Oh, thank you. I love that too. It's so relaxing, it's so refreshing, you know? It's really hard in my field of work to not want to be perfect, to not want to have everything in place. It's really, really hard for that to happen. And this artwork is celebrating mistakes. It celebrates the wildness. You know? Look at this little tiny one. I love those little ones. They're so cool. They're so fun. Wow, I'm just seeing this big one right here. This is going to be a huge one. I actually discovered that I could do art when I was in college. College is when I discovered I could do art. I was in my freshman year. I just got there. I just moved in. It was that first semester, so it was that fall before, you know, the holiday winter break. And I was feeling anxiety from the new experience. There's just a lot of new things happening, you know, new bed, new room, new location, new city. I was about 2, maybe 3 hours away from my family, and so it wasn't like they could just pop in, you know. And I lived in the dorms during that year. And so there was a lot of new people. I didn't have any, you know, friends. Oh, hold on. We gotta make some time. For our cat. Hi, kitty. He likes to be on camera sometimes. You wanna say hi? Okay, I'll see you soon. I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for popping in. Aw, you're so sweet. Okay, I gotta keep doing my artwork, okay? Ah! There we go. Let's get right back on track here. So I was having a hard time. New experiences, new places, new things, new responsibilities, new bathrooms, just a bunch of new stuff. And I love new experiences. I chase them out very often. But when you have an overwhelming amount, it can get anybody. You could be the most what is that word called when they just like go, they're just like happy around people, a big group of people makes them happy. It's like introvert, extrovert. You could be the most extroverted person and it could still bother you having an overwhelming amount of new experiences. This is almost a highlighter pink here. Well, so I purchased a pencil pack because I didn't know what my favorite medium was. You know, I did choir in high school. This is called hot pink. Highlighter hot pink. I did choir in high school, and so my high school did not require you to do both art and music. And so I didn't really have much art since, oh gosh, 6th grade or middle school. So I didn't know what to do. So I just went to my local store, which I think was a Walmart at the city I did school in. And went to Walmart, went to their art aisle, looked at some stuff, couldn't figure out if I wanted to paint or if I want, like, what did I want to do? How did I want to be creative in a way that could take some of this anxiety, some of this fear, some of this overwhelmedness? What could I do to kind of help the transition of being a new student. And so I grabbed a pencil pack and a notepad, and I went back to my dorm. And I discovered that I could actually do something. I could actually draw. And it wasn't like anything remarkable, but it wasn't absolutely terrible either, which was really cool. I think my dad still has, so he's an optometrist, an eye doctor, and I drew an eye. I drew a circle, then I drew a bigger circle, and then I drew the little reflective light spot, and then I just started doing lines. And I realized, first off, I loved it. And secondly, oh my gosh, I can do it. I didn't know I could do it. And so I was in college when I realized that I could actually do a little bit of art and feel good about it. I haven't done it in a while. My life has changed drastically since college. I'm not college age anymore, I'll tell you that. I did the college years and I'm glad I did them, but I'm also glad I don't have to do them again. Because it's hard. You have all these new experiences on top of your paying to study, to do well. That's really just, it was intense for me. It was intense responsibility. It was an intense experience. Excuse me. Look at this little one. Alright. Let's see here. We're getting kind of looking pretty good here. Let's go right up here. This nice little archway. Well, so since college, I started messing around with some other mediums. I did a little bit of watercolors and acrylic. I really like acrylic paint. The thick kind. Sometimes I let it dry out just a little bit so it can be thick. Alright, this side needs a little green. Should we put green right here? I think we'll come back. See, the good thing is, when you do this, you can always come back to your colors. I like to do just a little bit, see where I'm at. I still have 3 more here before I've used them all. So we still got some good stuff. Now I think this one is going to be right here. Seafoam green. Seafoam green, that's going to be big. I didn't land on ink, like pens, until, gosh, I was probably 5 or 6 years graduated from college. I guess I should show you guys, if that's something you're interested in. I should show you some of my old art. If I have any photos of it. See, that's the other thing. I don't know if I have any documentation anymore. I've traveled so much and gone to so many places and different phones, and you know, when I color things in like this, it always reminds me of, have you seen that? There's a person out there who has almost like a mechanical paint arm. So it's like you put the paintbrush in the machine and then it just like does the design. always think of that when I'm doing it this way. I just like how it turns out at the end. So yeah, I didn't find out about ink, like pens, until I was well out of college. So you can discover your many hidden talents at any age. But so since college, now that was just almost like a what are those called, spoofs, where it really shouldn't have happened, but it happened. I shouldn't have discovered my art and used it the way I did in college, but I did. I was stressed out and I needed something productive. I didn't want to hurt anybody or hurt myself, or I didn't want it to be destructive. And so I poured my heart into my art, as so very many of us do, and really kind of kept it to myself. A lot of my creative processes that I use to get my feelings out, my emotions, my memories, like whatever's heavy or hurting or whatever, I create a lot of different things. My friend Felicia just got a really cool pack of earrings that I made, jewelry, for her birthday. She's going to be doing some giveaways with those. And so I really just like giving away what I create that I use to help me. Because I feel like well, to be perfectly honest, it's hard to know the value of something like that, right? But also, in a sense, in a way, I made it with love. And because I'm such a, I guess, weirdo, I don't know. I'm just different in that I love experiences, right? See, look at this pattern that's taking place. Isn't that neat? I love that. Well, so anyway, I like to give my creative products away. Okay, look, this one right here. What is it? Blue Lagoon. You are Blue Lagoon right here. Yep. Sometimes I can't see because I got a finger or a giant marker pen right in the way. Even a shadow. Yeah, so I like art. I like creating. I like to get creative. I like to put my energy into being positive, productive. When I feel like I'm starting to, lose myself, on our weekly group chat, our support group that meets on Discord every Monday. Just this last Monday, we were talking about how some of us felt like we were tea kettles on the stove and nobody was coming to move us off the heat or turn the heat down. And many of us were boiling, or some of us were already on the steam part where the tea kettle starts to scream. And that's a really hard place to be at. This can help. This It's gonna help you calm your breathing down, listen to some music. Go in these like patterns of coloring. Just kind of turn half your brain off, like a dolphin. We were watching Madagascar with my kids, and there's a part in the movie that the penguins, or maybe it was the penguins of Madagascar, I don't know, something, one of those movies, the penguins of Madagascar or Madagascar. There's a part in one of those movies that the penguins are talking about the seals, and the line is, nature's snakes. And then his buddy goes, aren't snakes nature's snakes? Which is funny because we had just watched that and then gone to an aquarium that had dolphins trained and did a show and everything, and we got to see kind of their behind the scenes environment and watch them kind of swim around. And I said, dolphins, nature's seahorse. And I didn't think about it, but then I realized seahorses are in fact the horse of the sea, not dolphins. All right, last one here. This is battery charged blue. Now obviously I'm not done, but I've gone through all the colors, which is awesome because then I can see where I'm at and what we need to fill in, like these little squibbles. I love that. Don't know if there's too many other little ones. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I would encourage you to consider creating. Just create something. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, you don't have to sell it. You don't even have to record that it happened. You can literally, if you want to throw it away, throw it away. I would not recommend that. We keep treasure boxes. And our treasure boxes have all of our treasures in it. And I don't keep every single thing because our treasure boxes are so big. You know, they're the size that they are, and so you have to make sure that you keep the very best treasures. But I would definitely recommend keeping some of the firsts. You know, if you've never done this kind of art style before, because you signed and dated it, I would recommend keeping it, putting it in your treasure box. And doing that with a bunch of your stuff, you know? See, the thing is, we got to start celebrating the small stuff. Good job, you did it, good job. We have to start celebrating some of the small stuff. And yes, I can hear some of you guys saying, oh great, a participation award. But in all honesty, you know, it can be hard doing some of the simple things. Like, think about taking a shower. Some of you probably are like, whatever, just taking a shower. It's part of my day. It's as normal part of my day as it is the sun rising and setting, right? To some of us, it's really hard. It's not that simple. It feels like you gotta, so we watched Naked and Afraid, and that is one of those survival shows where they take people, they get completely undressed and they go out into the wild and they survive in all different types of environments for X amount of time. You know, they have various time frames on the show. And so, I'm gonna color this one. I know it's close to that, but this color is so beautiful. Sometimes taking a shower feels like you gotta go out and get an impala or an animal to eat, because you're so hungry. Like, taking a shower feels so huge and so big to some people. And when they finally do it, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yay, good job. You did it. Awesome. Great. You know? Celebrating the small stuff. Ooh, I got this blue too close to that other one, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's still gonna look really freaking cool at the end. You know what I'm saying? So celebrate. Celebrate that you created art. Celebrate the fact that you made a mistake and you kept going. Oh my gosh, do you understand how big that is? Oh, I just made a mistake. Good job. You kept going. That's huge. Imagine if you did that on a bigger scale. Where else have you made mistakes and you kept going and you pushed through and everything turned out fine, but you didn't celebrate it? And if you did, you're like, okay, that's cool. Celebrate. Be happy that you made it through, that you did it. All right, we're starting the lineup again. Starting over. Let's see if we can find any good spots here to use this. Wow. No. Green. You can do some greens. Right here and right here. So celebrate. I will celebrate with you if you let me know what it is. You know? We have people on Reddit all the time tell me some of their great celebration moments. Some are small, some are big. One person just got married and they wrote it out. You know? And then, when you do something really big, you'll know how to celebrate. Which is also something that's important to know. How to make yourself feel good. You cannot always expect other people to know how to make you feel good. You can't. There's too many people and they have too much going on and too much to think about, and they need you to know how to make sure that you can be happy. That's part of it. You gotta take care of yourself. Nobody else is gonna take care of you like you can take care of you. You know you the best, right? You're so busy doing your job, doing your responsibilities, taking care of other people, but do you know how to take care of yourself? Do you know how to make yourself happy? You know? And people out there, they do want to make you happy. Best believe, okay? But they're not always going to be able to, especially for where you're at the time, especially for all of your experiences that maybe they don't know about. You know? So celebrate the small stuff. Really celebrate. Hey man, I did a freaking good job. Hey, I just want to tell you, I know that I'll never see you again, lady at the grocery store, but I just want to let you know, I just did the coolest thing ever. I guarantee you the lady at the grocery store will smile. Good job, she'll say. Wow, good job. Thanks for letting me know. I used to work at a grocery store. I loved when people came and talked to me and told me their stories. I promise you, people care. More than you think. Maybe more than you care. You know what I mean? Like, Put it out there. Just like this art style, you can start off messy, slowly color it in, make some mistakes here and there, but you know what? By the end, it's gonna be a really cool little piece. Really cool little art piece. But I'll tell you this. I'll celebrate you. Okay? Leave me a comment. You know. Drop me a line. Any one of the numerous posts I have. Tell me what's good. You know? And if you're having a hard time being able to make some good stuff happen, let me know that too. You know? We can brainstorm. I like brainstorming. I like figuring out, you know, okay, well, let's see if we can start small. Can we start small? Will that be effective for you? No? You need something big? All right, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. But remember, I'm not a professional, right? I'm not a professional. I'm just here helping. I'm just a friend. Got a bunch of resources for those of you who do need professionals. But if you already have one, or if you're good, hey, I'm just a friend. I'll help you out. I'll do my best. But you gotta let me know. You gotta let me know what's going on. Excuse me. We are getting down to the wire here. We got 3 more. Folks, this art technique is one that I saw from Mood Body Studio. Found her on Insta and on TT. Okay? So she's out there if you want to give her a little love. Some of the TT influencers I'm friends with say take them home. You know? Add them to your BF's list. See, look at that. I just made a mistake. You know what? I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna do a thing about it. If you like this music, JGH Live. JGH Live. I'll show you right at the end here. I'll get you right at the end. Alright, let's see here. I'll put a red right there. If you did art with me today, please let me know. Show me. Let's celebrate your art, right? Let's celebrate your art. Find a way to get it in front of my eyes. I'm on so many social medias, so honestly, shouldn't be too hard. There you go. Look at that. Look at our art. That's amazing. You guys spent a whole hour with me doing some fun, really cool art, having some fun little discussions and chats. That is more than I could ask for. If you like the music from JGH, if you want to learn more about some art, Mood Body Studio, Thanks, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll check in next time. Thanks.